The December 15th, 2022 special Wasilla City Council meeting is called to order. The time is 6 p.m. Before you begin, council, please put away cell phones. If you have personal business to attend to during the meeting, please move for a recess. If you are participating telephonically, please mute your phone unless speaking. Also, when speaking, please state your name for those streaming the meeting. As a reminder to all attendees that this meeting is being streamed live. The camera is located directly in the back of the council chambers above the clock. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Councilmember Sullivan Leonard.
Here.
Councilmember Johnson.
Here.
Councilmember Brown.
Here.
Councilmember Vlock. Ms. Vlock, are you on the phone?
She's muted.
Ms. Vlock,
I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. Madam Mayor, you do have a quorum. Councilmember Sullivan Leonard and Vlock are participating telephonically. Councilmembers Johnson and Brown are here with us in person. Councilmember Graham is attempting to connect telephonically, and Councilmember Rubio will run about 30 minutes late.
Okay.
You do have a quorum though.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Chief, if you'd lead us, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The first item of business is approval of the agenda. Are there changes to the agenda? Hearing none, the agenda will stand as presented. We are all at persons to be heard. There's no one in the audience. So we are on to new business. Madam Clerk, please read the title of the item under new business.
Thank you. It's discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the goals and initiatives for fiscal year 2024. This is a continuation from last night's city council meeting, and we are on page 5 of the packet. E-packet, I guess page 8 of the paper packet, pardon me. We're starting on goal number 19. Which is 20 on the screen because we added a 19 last night.
Okay, we don't need another motion.
Yeah, you do.
Oh,
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you do.
okay. All right. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Is there a motion to enter a committee of the whole?
Councilman Johnson moves to enter committee of the whole.
Councilman Brown, second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Johnson and seconded by Councilmember Brown to enter the committee of the whole. Is there an objection to the motion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
just for clarification, I don't recall exiting from committee of the whole last night, so isn't this just a continuation of the committee of the whole?
I'm going to let the clerk speak to that.
We just, because the meeting was adjourned so abruptly, there was no objection to exiting, and so because the meeting technically adjourned, we're back fresh again today.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Okay. Hearing no objection to the motion, it is approved. So we are now in committee of the whole. We are on page 8 of 28 of the paper packet. It looks like 5 of 9 on the e-packet. So we are on number 19. I'll restate the goal. It's develop stable and equitable sources of revenue or methods to accomplish our mission statement. So number 19. Number 20.
Madam Mayor,
Mr. Johnson.
what is, the lobbyist will work on behalf of the city, or is it on behalf of a specific department within the city?
It would, a lobbyist would work on behalf of the city for every department in the city.
Okay, so
Not just finance, general administration, so I'm assuming then the lobbyists' function in life would be to get grants that the city would use for the rest of the department, is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that the lobbyist for grant then, thank you.
Well, grants and other things that the city may need or whatever.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Just for information to the council, we did have a lobbyist in years past, and I have to say they were very valuable, both in DC and in Juneau. So if there's a proposal to potentially move that forward, I think that's a positive for Wasilla.
Yes. We've got council people shaking their heads yes, and
May I add something, Madam?
Yeah, respond.
yes.
And then through the chair to the council, so if we, historically, since the city no longer had a lobbyist, in the spring, if you recall, 2, sometimes 3 council members would accompany the administration down to Juneau for lobbying. If the city hires a lobbyist, I see that particular thing going away. So.
Okay, any further discussion on number 20? Number 21? Number 22? Number 23? The next goal is effectively operate and develop the city's enterprise funds to meet community and business needs. Number 24. Number 25. Number 26. Okay. The next goal is to keep our community safe. Number 27. Number 28. $29. 30. 31. 32. 33.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Brown, through the mayor to the chief, on 33, what are we doing now and what have we done up to this date to address number 33?
To Councilmember Brown through the mayor. So some of the community-oriented programs that we're having right now is Coffee with a Cop. We just did Shop with a Cop for the Santa kids over at Walmart. We have National Night Out, which occurs in August, is what we're moving forward on. Years past, we've never done this. There's drug take back that we are a part of, and then there is a lot of like the Red Ribbon, which is through the DEA, that you go to elementary schools, work with the partnering military. Those are a lot of those community-oriented programs that we are just starting and want to move forward on, and also with. We just want to continue that and explore other community-oriented events like Special Olympics, Torch Run, and those type stuff, and be a little bit more involved in that than we have historically been in the past.
Follow up, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
All those are great and stuff. There are some communities and especially people who are not friendly with the police, that it's harder to reach. Any kind of programs to reach those people who don't normally come for coffee or come to some of the things you're doing now.
One of the things that we're actually getting ready to implement here come January is the mobile crisis team that works with the recovery center that's just opened up called True North. And we are in the workings and we just actually had meetings today on that we're going to incorporate our officers meeting with individuals that have been that we've dealt with on a business relationship and build those bridges. And have them have an understanding of what we do, and then we have an understanding of what they do as they go through that recovery center through True North. So those are some of the things that we're just getting ready to kick off, and then it kind of deals with the mental health aspect of it, and to be more of a partnership than an enforcement type role in that, and that's what we're looking to build off of.
Thank you.
Number 34. $35. 36. Our next goal is preserve and enhance the quality of life for current and future residents and for visitors to our community. Number 37. 38. 39. 40.
I'm sorry, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
First of all, am I echoing badly?
Okay.
She's not echoing too bad.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, Colleen. I misunderstood
Okay.
what you said.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm looking at number 39, if we could go back one.
Okay.
Can you give me examples of what you're looking at for items at the park that would pertain to teenagers? And the reason why I ask that is that I did a park for an example. Many times teenagers are intertwined with very young children, interacting on different equipment there, and it's been a real problem for moms with young children. So are we looking at separate areas that are very specific to teenagers, or upgrading what we have initially?
Scott, can you speak to that?
Ask that to
Eric, can you speak to that?
somebody. The other side of the room.
Through the mayor, I don't know exactly what the enhancements would be at this point for teenagers. I need to get with our parks crew and find that out.
Okay, well, somebody included this in the goals initiative, so they must have some idea of what they're looking for.
Councilmember Sullivan Leonard through the mayor. So in the edits that you see or suggestions in these goals and initiatives, they are council's goals and initiatives. Council has a complete beat on where our citizens are, what they want. You don't always have the operational purview, and so these were just suggestions based on strategic plans, as well as, so there are some of these goals that were retained from last year because we didn't know if council felt like they had been accomplished. I didn't know the origin of them, and I didn't feel it proper to remove them without knowing that.
I can.
Go ahead.
Through the chair to Councilmember Sullivan Leonard, this is Jamie Newman, City Clerk. I know one of the initiatives as a result of this was the parkour equipment, and I did a park, and that was specific to teenagers, I guess, or older kids, and so you see that installed now as a result of this. I'm not sure of anything moving forward.
Madam Mayor?
Mr. Brown.
Yeah, I see here that police is not involved here, and I think this, Madam Mayor, would be a good place where the police could interact with, especially the older kids and the teenagers using the park and stuff, and I'm just wondering why they wasn't included as a supporting reason for this.
You okay with that?
Councilmember Brown, through the mayor, I agree, and I think that, the park rangers play a big advocate in that, in building that relationship and being out there and being proactive. There's what kind of ideas out there to incorporate with the teenagers. I think it's just building that connection and having the officers actually walking,
Yes.
and being in the parks and being visible. And that's, again, it kind of falls in with the park rangers too, but I believe you're gonna have more of an effect if you have a officer walk through there. And I agree, it should be something we should be doing.
Scott or Eric, either one, correct me if I'm wrong, but we are going to upgrade the tennis courts this spring.
That is correct.
So that would be conducive to all ages, I would say, but teenagers.
And Councilmember Sullivan Leonard, through the mayor, I think also, as it kind of triggered it, I know at one point there was a group, Friends of Wasilla Park and Rec, and they were working on expanding the skate park and some of those facilities, which would directly be for the teenage group. So apologize not recollecting that, but that was a group that was working on that item.
Sounds great, thank you.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Last year during the budgeting process, I think there was the addressing directly to that. There was some interest in expanding that, and there was a bicycle trail obstacle course or something like that, which in speaking with citizenry, there was expressed interest of expanding that, particularly with the bike people right across the street that was into the mountain biking and that kind of a thing. And I remember that discussion, but I can't remember the specific meeting or anything like that on it. But I think that's how it may have gotten in here.
Yeah, Councilmember Johnson, through the mayor. Yeah, that gentleman is also part of that Friends of Wasilla Park. And so they were looking at all of that, the biking, the skate park, and really enhancing that. They had been fundraising and raising money. Two Park and Rec meetings, they reported that what they were basically doing is putting kind of their project stuff on hold at this time because of the cost to develop what they were looking to do, and I think it kind of threw off their original plans of how soon they could do something. But I can readdress that with them at the next Park and Rec Commission meeting.
Okay. Okay, number 40. Number 41.
Madam Mayor, Councilman Brown, just to go back, on the suggestion on the last one, about adding the police, do we have to do a motion, or can administration just add them in there?
Yeah. On number 39,
Yeah,
add,
okay. all
she
right.
did, so we're good.
Very happy,
Okay.
man.
So anything on 40? 41. 42. 43. 44. 45. 46.
Councilman Brown again. To Public Works, is there any system that you've looked at with all the problems we've had with restrooms, destruction and damage? Is there some kind of new system that's not easily damaged out there?
Thank you for that question through the mayor. I have worked with Mr. Follett before his retirement to talk about some of his ideas. We haven't had a chance to implement them. I'll be working with Mr. Griffith when he returns from vacation next week. They have made some strides in their schedule for opening and closing the bathrooms. They've hardened some things that are vulnerable. I don't think we have implemented a lot more long-term solutions, but I know that the staff takes it very serious and they have some ideas, so we'll be circling back on that.
Maybe it's time to go back to just concrete and running water.
Madam Mayor?
Madam Mayor Johnson.
Mr. Johnson?
Madam Mayor, before we move on, my brain is operating a little slow. If we could revert the discussion back to 37, I have one question related to that. Allocate funding annually for the preservation and cleanup of our lakes and waterways. Within Newcomb Park in Wasilla, we've had a fair amount of beach erosion. Would this goal possibly precipitate some adding of landscaping sand on the beach to eliminate the erosion problems that we see along the lake?
Eric?
Mr. Johnson, through the mayor. Yes, I think that the idea behind this item is for, well, we talk about preservation and cleanup. I think that would fit very well in here. I think it's a great opportunity to talk about something that I don't think we've had to discuss with the council yet. We are on the cusp of having much more stringent stormwater rules expected of us, or that we must comply with through the state because of rules through the EPA. Has to do with our census count. We're going to have a new designation. Part of the Matsu Borough is going to be designated as urban. And that urban designation is going to bring strict stormwater control processes. We will have to have a system in place that has permitting requirements, so there'll be planning aspects of it, and then there'll be permitting and enforcement aspects of it as well. So if we see erosion, that immediately brings us into stormwater controls. Whether or not we could get the permits to make the amendments to the shoreline that you're describing, I think we could. That would be an EPA, DEC, Army Corps permit, but I think we could show that we're enhancing water quality in that way. But I just want to let the council know that we're going to be, we are already working with the borough and other partners such as Palmer and DOT, because this has been coming for about a year or so. And there will be procedural processes we have to start. There will be monetary impacts as well. There's probably going to be some sort of coalition memorandum of agreement with those partners, and there'll be costs associated with that. So you'll start to see some of that as the budget process starts, because we're starting to get that information here at the first of the year.
Thank you.
Okay, are we ready to go on to the next goal? Implement a comprehensive approach to development. Yeah. Number 47.
Madam Mayor?
Mm-hmm.
It says relocate the downtown train stop. Well, that's already been done. So what is it that this particular goal then really, what's the point in it? The train station's already been relocated.
It is to develop the conceptual plans for the intermodal facility at the new site.
Okay. So it's not really relocated, it's
No,
just...
we've
okay.
done half of it.
Okay. Just clarifying, thank you very much.
Do you want to take out that half?
I just wanted to know what it is that you meant, that's all. Whether you
John?
take it out or not, that's immaterial.
To Councilman
Madam Mayor?
Johnson, through the mayor.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, John.
Thank you. So we have moved the building, but the actual stop is still
Still
occurring at its
I know.
original location. So I do think there are still some like boarding platforms that would have to happen for even just that piece, aside from the concept of the intermodal facility. So I think that's why it seemed appropriate to still leave it in there.
Okay. Colleen?
Joan answered my question. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
I have a follow-up to that. One of the things we're always up against in our budgeting and fiscal year is the letting of the contracts for these kind of things. I am assuming that you'll put this money in there for the development of the decking and the actual connection, but it seems to me that it would be best if we were to move those plans forward at least to the bidding stage as early in the construction season as we could get, realizing that the Main Street Coupler project will actually kick off in the next, hopefully, year. So we'd want to do that construction simultaneously, whereas if we wait, put it into the 2024 budget, we don't put the contracts out until July, it doesn't get done until the following year because of the season, et cetera, et cetera. Thank you.
Through the mayor, Councilman Johnson, I know that we have some work that will happen this spring around the train station. There's some drainage that's going to be installed. Some of those same paving rain impacts affected that project too. I'm less familiar with how far along we are with design to put out another contract for the intermodal. I need to educate myself on if we're ready for another contract. So I think that there's still probably a little bit more design and council input to the actual layout of the facility so we can have that next contract that puts asphalt down or stations or something like that.
Councilman Rubio has joined us at 6:27. Elena, we are on page 12 of 28 in your paper packet.
Thank you.
Okay, number 48. Number 49. Okay, the next goal is to keep local government efficient and accountable to the citizens of Wasilla.
Oh, no, we're at the end. Yep.
Are we
This is just
done?
We're done.
Yes.
This is just the red line version.
Oh,
We're done.
we're done.
We're done.
Jacket on.
Don't take the coat off yet.
Amazing.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I move that we end discussion as a whole.
Okay. Is there a second?
Councilman Brown, second.
It has been moved by Councilmember Johnson and seconded by Councilmember Brown to exit committee of the whole. Is there objection to the motion? Hearing none, the motion is approved. We have nobody in the audience, so we are on to the council clerk and mayor comments. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to wish everybody happy holidays. We're not going to see you here until our next regular meeting, January 9th. So that's it for 2023.
Councilmember Johnson.
No further comments.
Councilmember Rubio.
Gotta say something. It's been a great year and looking forward to 2024. It's been a pleasure working with all of you guys.
Councilmember Brown.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and happy holidays to the staff and councilmen, and hope to see y'all in a year.
Next year. Councilmember Sullivan Leonard.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It's been a real good discussion on goals and initiatives, and I appreciate the staff, and I appreciate all of you being there to work through it all. I do look forward to seeing everyone in the upcoming year, but certainly I wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
Okay. Councilmember Velock.
I too want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you next.
Okay. And to all of you, a very Merry Christmas and be safe. Hopefully we have no more snow right away till we can get the roads and stuff all cleaned out. I don't think in all the years I've been here I've seen this much snow at one time. Maybe somebody's been here longer can remember it, but I can't. So, but happy holidays to all of you. And I hope next year is going to be a great year. So thank you so much. And we are adjourned at 6:30.
We can't leave this